Lately, I've had Transformers fever because for the millionth time, I've rewatched Transformers Prime, and I also watched and loved the new Transformers 1 movie that came out not too long ago. But the more and more I watch these Transformers storylines, the more I realize that Megatron kind of had a point, and that a lot of his actions are kind of justified. And if something like this was going on in real life, we would actually want to be on Megatron's side. Before I get into that, guys, if you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell up top so you get notified of the latest and greatest video. Now look, I'm not saying all of Megatron's actions are entirely justified, because Megatron has done, a lot of questionable things. From literal genocide to biological warfare, from grave desecration to mutilation, to even go so far as to put the blood of an actual demon inside of his body.
Perhaps, Starscream, I have not permitted myself contact enough.
Wait, Lord Megatron, no! Not your spark chamber! You do not know what it will do!
Megatron has far strayed from the path of a true Decepticon, which is why you see a lot of betrayal and deceit among the Decepticon ranks. But if you look at what his cause started off as, it actually started off as something noble and justifiable. Megatron's original plight was one of equality among the masses of Cybertron, because in almost every iteration, Megatron has been a lower class bot. And in almost every version of Transformers, he doesn't gain fame or notoriety until he becomes a gladiator of chaos, meaning that the only way for him to even become noticeable or gain the attention of the other primes is by slaughtering other Cybertronians. But in order for this to make sense, you need to know about Cybertron's casting system. See, Cybertron wasn't this utopia that Ratchet and a lot of the other Autobots remember, or at least for the perspective of Megatron and the other Decepticons. You see, on Cybertron, once a bot was born from the Well of All Sparks, they were immediately cast based on how they looked, and their destiny wasn't in their own hands, but in the hands of the Council. So if you were a bigger, stronger bot, you immediately got placed in hard labor or construction, and smaller or medium-sized bots like Optimus, Ratchet, and RC were placed in less labor-inducive jobs, like a record keeper or a medic, which usually meant living in a better part of Cybertron. And most of the time, the lower class workers were completely neglected by the primes and the Council, which is how the gladiatorial blood sport of Chaos even started in the first place. So it's understandable why Megatron thinks that he's the only one capable of leading Cybertron. Megatron views the primes like a revolutionary views a corrupt government. He believed the only way to truly liberate Cybertron was to overthrow the old ways and completely start from scratch. And this way of thinking isn't really evil, it's actually how a lot of countries got started. And this also explains the reason why he doesn't trust Optimus Prime, because in most iterations, Optimus Prime was a record keeper in the Iacon Hall of Records. And Iacon compared to Kaon is like Compton compared to Beverly Hills. And with Optimus being a record keeper, this means that he was a bot of privilege. He got the opportunity to live in a safe, well-managed place and learn about Cybertron's history. Now, mind you, being of privilege doesn't mean that Optimus isn't an effective leader, because I will forever stand by the opinion that Optimus Prime is the best fictional leader, period. But it's understandable why Megatron has a mistrust for him, because Optimus didn't experience firsthand what an untrustworthy and corrupt government can do on a society, but Megatron did. And when you look at their backgrounds, you can really understand why they view power the way that they do. Megatron is power hungry because he's always been powerless, and this was the reality for most of Cybertron, which is why a civil war broke out on the planet so quickly, because most Cybertronians felt the effects of the prime's misuse of their powers. Because a lot of time the fans associate the primes with Optimus, and that's not necessarily the case. Some of the primes have done pretty messed up stuff, and some of them have even flat out neglected Cybertron. So if you were a Cybertronian in a lower class part of Cybertron, and you relied on the primes for leadership and guidance, but year after year you had to fight to survive, watch your loved ones pass on, and see your society plunge into chaos because of the lack of resources, wouldn't you want somebody to step up and fight for you? And as the years went on, you would probably develop some type of hatred or distrust for primes. And at that point, it wouldn't matter if one came along like Optimus that was noble, trustworthy, and heroic, because your view of that system would already be corrupt, and you would want somebody who came from where you came from to lead your planet, i.e. Megatron. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Does Megatron have a point? Is he misunderstood, or is he just flat out evil? Until next time, my fellow Cybertronians, peace.
This isn't possible. No one can control Dark Energon. It dominates and destroys everything it touches.
I am the Dominator. I am the Destroyer. I am